Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another story time. At that, on this channel, I'm not gonna lie, if you could tell by my content, also, I was trying to be a seasonal baddie, a Vlogmas baddie. I ran out of story times for a little bit because, y'all, especially when I first started this channel, which was almost a year ago, it's almost 1 year to me. Um, I told so many story times. I was posting 3 times a week. I was just, you feel me? Um, and my life is really boring. Like I said, honestly, I have to think hard and long about different parts of my life. And some reason this one just popped into my head the other day. I think that this is a very, very good story for the girlies, especially the younger women who watch me. Um, just a little sisterhood story time. To know rejection happens to the best of us. It's not the end of the world. Even like the prettiest people, y'all see, I hate the term oh, she's so pretty, she doesn't have a boyfriend, or oh, she's so pretty, she got done dirty. Oh, y'all, our beauty does not mean to stupid people. Okay? And also everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So it's just like one of those story times that I hope we can all laugh at because it was very traumatic for me. And yeah, just a little bonding moment. So let's get right on into this story time. Now, this story time is lore. This story time is high school. My high school story times really be the most interesting ones, y'all. Stuff might be embarrassing and hell while you're in it if you're in story time right now. I mean, if you're in high school right now, but it's all for the plot. Okay, so I was a freshman in high school. I had my high school orientation. I'm so excited, high hopes, y'all. I was one of those girls who was feeling like a rebrand when I started high school, okay? I grew up PWI my whole entire life. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, in middle school, I was starting to get tired of it. In middle school, I was starting to get tired of the slick comments, being the only black person in the friend group. Just like I was starting to get my own brain and get my own and so in high school, I was excited. I was like, I'm gonna find more black people. I am going to join more clubs. I'm gonna make it. Like I was ready to leave my middle school life behind. Not that middle school was terrible for me, but again, it's just like a finding yourself. If you're another person, well, just in general, a lot of kids feel like that about high school, but especially like I said, other maybe people of color who realize their differences, realize what they want the more you grow up. And I'm one of those girls, y'all. I was very sheltered. I was very sheltered. I lost my V at 18 out of high school. A year out of high school. Okay, I had my first boyfriend my senior year of high school. It was very short. I was a very sheltered kid. And so I wasn't one of those people who had little boyfriends in middle school. They wasn't even checking for me. I just thought I grew up PWI, y'all. And so, of course, in my high school rebrand, of course, I'm also looking at boys like, oh my God, high school is when things happen. High school is when people start dating. High school is, you know? And so I remember I was scoping out the scenery at that freshman orientation, right? And I saw this boy. I saw this boy, y'all. I've always kind of been, well, let me not say that. In high school, I was actually way more bolder than I am now. Like, I was way more, I don't care what people think. I don't care what people say. Like, I'm still like that, kind of, but just I don't know. I don't put myself in positions as much to be as loud about my boldness. Like, I'll say something with my chest today. I'll repeat something, but I'm just I'm not as just childishly confrontational as I was back in high school. And I remember I scoped out this boy in orientation that I thought was really, really cute. Okay. But the thing is, it was one of those boys where you could tell I wasn't the only one who saw him. Okay. You can tell I wasn't the only one who saw him. Y'all, this was high school for me. I've been out of high school for 5 years. This was 2016. This was almost 10 years ago. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was a basketball girly. And oh, I think that might have been the thing, y'all. I think I also did summer league this year. Y'all know if you play basketball, basketball goes through summer, like an unofficial league, at least in most places. I don't know. I'm from Cali. I feel like that happens everywhere. But I feel like I might have saw this boy dancing, but I really saw him, or maybe it was just what he had. Like I could tell he was a basketball player too. I was like, I thought he was cute. He looked like he played basketball. Okay, similar interests. Y'all, I was so but again, I was bold, but I still wasn't one of those girl. I wasn't like that childishly bold where I would just like go up and be like, I want you. Mind you, I was 13, y'all. I'm a Scorpio. I like my birthday is late in the year. I entered high school at 13. I turned 14 a couple months in. So I just remember peeping him, obviously telling my friends, like, oh, I think he's cute. Blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to when the school year started. So the school year starts, and I get unlucky with my wishes. I don't end up having any like classes with this boy. But like I said, I did kind of see him around. Like I was sometimes in similar spaces because we both did basketball. Y'all know sports will bring you together. And one of the things was, I was like new friends, new interests, like in high school, just trying to do my thing. And one place where I could see him, because y'all know we all did that crazy thing in high school. We would go somewhere where a boy we liked, like just to see him, because we would know he would be there. I'll walk my friends. I'll be like, oh my God, guys, let's walk down by the courts. And he would be down there. Y'all, honestly, like I said, this was 2016. This was almost 10 years ago. If I could remember for the life of me how we actually started talking, how we met, I would tell you, but I'm really trying to think, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I was, like I said, I was a basketball player, y'all. I'm a basketball player who's never actually been about it. I never want to go to college for it. I never want to go to league. I've always been good though. I've always been the best. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, y'all. In summer when I was trying my outside era, I remember I was out somewhere. Like it wasn't even in the city I went to high school, but it was the county, and there was this guy at some place I was out with my friends, and he was literally telling me he remembers me from high school. Y'all, I recognize him from a can of paint. I was like, "Oh, you do? Oh, you went to my high school?" And he was telling me, he was like, "I remember you because I remember you were a basketball player, and I remember you were nice, like you were the point guard, right?" Y'all, it wasn't like a boy I thought was cute, but like he just really boosted my ego. I said, "Yeah, I was a little hooper back then. Yeah, that was me." So yeah, but I wasn't into it like that. Like I just played for fun. I was the best. I tried my best. Yes, I did get frustrated and pissed off about games because I'm competitive, but like I never wanted to like take it far. But I remember, y'all, I started bringing the basketball to school because I was like, I don't know, like I don't really have an established friend group yet. High school just started, just because that boy was down there, and I'll go shoot around down at the courts, not because I see him shooting around at all. Y'all, and I honestly just I think I knew one of the basketball boys that he knew. And so I think I just went to go shoot around with the person I knew. But then obviously he was there. And then obviously we were in the same area. So we just started talking and we got introduced. And yeah, I think that's how all this started. So basically, I got my man. I'm just playing, y'all. That's not what happened. So I just remember, I would just shoot around and basically play with people down at the courts for lunch because I had my own ball. Or sometimes if I didn't have my own ball, mind you, I wasn't just like doing too much. I did like have a ball for basketball for after practice. So it wasn't like I was just bringing a ball like just for like partially was, but partially not. I'm sorry, y'all. This was where the delusion started. So basically, it wasn't like that. I didn't get my man. But like, we were cool. We would hang out at lunch. And like I said, it wasn't ever just us. Like it was like us. And honestly, sometimes like my friends who weren't really into basketball, they would just like come and kind of just watch. Or I think I did have a girl or two who did like to shoot around too, that were for the girls, and they would play with us. Like I would either just have a lingering friend, but most like if I didn't have a lingering friend with me that day, it would just be me and boys. Like it would just be me, him, his friends shooting around, just playing, talking, shooting, whatever. And so yeah, I remember obviously y'all know in high school. everyone will follow anyone back. Like I remember I found his Instagram. Had I found it, I probably looked directly for it and found it. Y'all know how we be in high school. He followed me back. I was like, even though he probably followed everybody else in the high school back, but he was cool. Like we would just shoot around, talk, and y'all, I want to say this is delusion, but honestly when I think back on it, I was very very delusional about this boy. But it wasn't just full on delusion, okay? Because I had such like a big crush on him. It was like a friend crush, you know, because I didn't really know how he felt. He wasn't very bold. But like when we would play around, like I said, mind you, sometimes I was the only girl. Sometimes there would be other girls shooting around. But I was just like, it was one of those things. Y'all know these niggas think they're slick when they're not. What amplified my little crush and my delusions is just because when we would be down there shooting, I feel like he would be a little flirty with me. It's just like, boy, you ain't you ain't getting that close and waist moving the boys. Mm? No, you ain't messing around. Like y'all know like how I'm a girl who's been to open gym plenty of times. And that's why I say it's delusion because yes, he was being kind of flirty, touchy with me, but also just as a woman who's athletic and who has been to open gyms and been the only girl at open gyms, it's like I kind of just know that's what boys do because they sometimes they just be fiending for any girl that like you know what I'm saying. So I would notice stuff like that and I'll be like, oh my God, he's really my man. Y'all, also, I was very delusional because, like I said, y'all, I am a black woman who grew up PWI. Nobody, when boys would flirt a little bit, like especially ones that I actually thought were cute back, or just do give me like any sign of attention, I'd be like, because like I wasn't used to it. I wasn't used to it at all. And this was like a cute one that was giving me a crumb. So, what amplified my delusion, besides getting a slither of attention, is y'all. Y'all know in high school when people see a little bit of flirty or they see a boy and girl walking together because it was at the point where like we were friends, like we would play, but he would say what's up in the halls, or if I was in the same line as him we would chop it up, you know what I'm saying? And like it got to the point where like friends of people who knew me would be like, oh, is that your boyfriend? Is that a thing? Is that and I would just be like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Is it? But another thing is, y'all, I remember, like I said, a lot of girls had a crush on this boy. So people knew the tea. People knew the tea when I asked. And apparently, like he was new. Like he was like new to the state. So this wasn't a boy who like came from a school where people knew him. He was new to the state. But I guess he had moved in the summer and did summer league. So I don't know how that happened. You know how kids are in different programs in high school, which can allow them to be on campus this summer. So people would tell me that during summer, they're like, oh yeah, I remember this girl used to post him during summer. I said, my who? I was so delusional, y'all, but she was too. Because people would tell me about this girl that they used to hang out in summer, that he used to have a thing with in summer, that he used to hang out with outside of school in summer. And y'all, what boosted my delusions about knowing this is y'all, like, obviously, we're in high school. We could pull up the Instagram, we could pull up everything real quick. Like, I would see the girl in school, and y'all, like, her and her little friends would just be eyeing me down, like it was a thing where for sure I knew it wasn't a thing anymore, but I just remember like this girl would like watch me like a hawk. Not like she wanted to like fight me, but when it's like a guy you still like and you see another girl being around her and you're like you just watch her. Like you just like we never spoke a word, but I could just tell like she would just stare at me like being around. Like I said, I wasn't that about it, but like you could tell the vibes. You could tell the vibes. And like I said, when it came to her friends too, it's like when I would walk past her and her friends, like they would just give me that look like they were envying me for her. Like I said, y'all, I was delusional. This wasn't even my man for real, but I thought it was my man. Okay, so y'all, basically the flirting, the energy from this ex fling and her friend group, and people thinking we're a thing when neither of us had said anything, really just had me thinking, y'all, I'm still a Scorpio. I'm still ready to. So after like maybe 2 months into school, I was like, honestly, I just like I want to know like how does he feel? Like, is this my man or not? I was so delusionally all like, I was like, I just want to know. I'm like, he flirts with me and everyone thinks we're a thing. Like, this is such a common high school experience. This is why I'm saying this story is especially for my young girls, y'all. If he ain't say it with his chest, it's nothing. Okay? Be bold. Get your answers. Don't wait on nobody. And I was just like, honestly, I just want to know how he feels. But like I said again, it was a friendship. It was still a friendship, so I was kind of scared to like um say anything. And mind you, also I had this boy's number, I had his social media. We would talk outside of school, but like again, I said it was iffy ground because it was like we would talk outside of school, but he wouldn't really flirt with me when we would talk. We'd talk about random shit. Hey, you hooping today? You bring the ball today? Or we play iMessage games, or he would just slide up on my stuff, not with like hard eyes or anything, but just like conversations. So yeah, I was like, it's time to put him to the test and see if that's my man. Yeah. I forgot y'all. We didn't even name this boy. I'm gonna name this boy LeBron because he has the name of another famous basketball player that's not LeBron. So we're gonna call him LeBron, and we're gonna call my friend who's about to come into the story Asia. So I had this friend named Asia who was also friends with LeBron. Like they just had class together. Like you could tell they were just friends. And she knew I had like a little crush on him and stuff. And I was just like, Asia, like I was telling her how I was feeling. I was like, you like so many people think we're dating and he just does this and he's so flirty and touchy. And I'm just like, can you just like ask him, can you be my wingman and be like, LeBron, what's up? Like, what you and Alicia like? And Asia was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll ask. I'll get your answers, girl. So I was like, okay, you gonna get my answers, girl. You gonna get my answers. So I remember I was very anxious. Y'all know that very anxiousness when, like I said, you're in high school, you do childish, and you send somebody to ask a question or whatever. I was shaking in my boots. I was shaking in my boots. Okay. And I remember I was texting her. I was like, "Did you talk to LeBron yet?" And she was like, "Yeah, I did." She's like, "But I want to tell you what he said in person." Mm? And y'all know that can go two ways. Like, "Oh, I want to tell her in person because I just want to see her reaction," or "I want to tell her in person because it went." So my heart's through the roof. I'm begging her. I'm like, "No, just tell me now. Like, call me, text me, send me a screenshot." And she's like, "No, girl, I'll tell you in person at school." And I'm like, "Okay, Asia, okay, okay." So y'all, I come to school the next day, the first break or whatever I have with Asia. I'm like, okay, so what do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Girl. So she wants to say, okay, Alicia. So I talked to him. I basically asked what you said, like, how do you feel about Alicia? Is there something going on? And at first what she said wasn't that bad, okay? She goes like, oh, he goes, "Oh, Alicia, no, there's nothing going on. Like, I see her as a friend. She's cool, blah, blah, blah." I don't remember if Asia told me she still tried to press him if there was something or if he just said this, but y'all, before I say the worst part, let me tell y'all how I looked my freshman year of high school. Like I said, I was 13, 14, probably 14 by then. I was tall for my age. I'm 5'7". I'm a tall girl. I was probably already 5'5" ish by 14, which seems tall because the boys are 5'5" too. I pretty much looked the same, just like a baby. I was a little bit skinnier. I was rocking my natural hair. I was a late bloomer with my teeth. Okay, y'all. Some reason the summer before high school, like I said, I love that. Like I said, I was more like I don't give back then because this would probably crush me now as a grown woman now. Y'all, I lost teeth, like teeth that I needed to lose, not like I got in a fight or anything, the summer before my freshman year of high school. And it was where you could see, y'all. It wasn't right in the front. It was like probably this one. And another one was kind of growing in. So it was very visible when I would smile, like my real smile. Yeah. And to any other girls, if you're in this position, if you're a late bloomer in anything, I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, I was 13, 14. I was still growing up. Like that's a very normal thing to happen, but In high school, it's just people are really mean. I think they're even meaner now with how much social media has become a thing. Not that it wasn't when I grew up, but it just becomes a worse thing. So that's how I looked. So he proceeds to say, nah, Alicia's cool. She's like my friend. We just hoop. And at the end is where he had me fucked up. He said, yeah, nah, I don't see her like that. Like, her, plus her teeth are kind of messed up.
I was like, damn.
Well, fuck you, LeBron. So I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yes. And I was like, honestly, if he would have wouldn't have said the last part, it would have been fine. Like, y'all, one thing about me is I'm a step. Like, when I if someone's not interested or whatever, it would just be like, okay, he would just be the hooping homie. Okay, whatever. But I'm like, to make a comment about something I'm already insecure about, and like I said, and he's my friend, it's not like he's just a random dude on the street. I was like, oh, you.
You wanna push me, my nigga? You wanna push me, my nigga?
So I remember Asia was just looking at me like, I'm sorry, honey. Like, that's what he said. That's answers I got. And I'm just like, okay, cool, 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 cool. Y'all, I was feeling like that Janelle Monáe song. And you rated me a 6. I was like, damn. But even back then, with the tears in my eyes, I always knew I was the shit. Huh? So yeah, y'all. Even though like I said, I was a rubbish back then. I'm a rubbish now. I could take rejection. I'm not like an insane man or anything. The first part was fine, but I was like, that's really rude of him to say that to me. So I still do my thing. I still do my thing. I'm like, at lunch, I go and shoot. I'm pretty sure this time was like around basketball season, so I was for real, like trying to practice. And what did I do? What Scorpios do best. Not anymore. I'm a very healed Scorpio. I give that silent treatment. I was like, I'm here to shoot for real. You. I heard what you said. No, I didn't say any of that. But basically, yeah, I'm just shooting, and he's just coming up to the court like normal, being playful. What's up? Can I get the ball? Blah blah blah. Y'all, I'm just ignoring him. I'm just shooting, acting like he's not there. Y'all, when I don't, look at you no more. It's you might as well be a fly on the wall. I literally am just acting like he's not there. And I think the worst thing about this day too is the group wasn't even that big. It might have been just me and hit one other person. So awkward because the other guy who's our friend was probably just looking like wondering what the hell's going on. And yeah, he didn't try too hard. He didn't try too hard. I feel like he definitely knew that me and Asia were friends and knew what the whole premise of this was because basically like he tried to talk to me a little bit, but he didn't like press me. Like he basically just shut up and started shooting. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah, basically y'all, at the end of like towards the end of the lunch period, I think like I said, he uses his man brain a little bit and he catches on. And he basically is just like, Alicia, can I talk to you? I'm like, sure. And he basically is just like, I think I know why you're acting like this and blah blah blah. And he basically just like apologized for like what he said. He was like, I like the last comment wasn't necessary. I'm sorry for like saying that about you. And y'all, like I said, I still have a crush on him. So I was basically just like, okay. Y'all, like I said, I was like 14 years old. I was still a kid. So I was basically just like, y'all know how kids are when it comes to crushes and stuff. That's why it blows me that I didn't have my first real relationship till I was 18 and out of high school. I was in college. So that's why it blows me that like 14-year-old kids really be having deep ass relationships. No, nothing. If you like it, I love it. But I'm just like at 14, I was literally still in a kid mentality. Like he just said sorry, and I was just like, okay, let's shoot. Like basically, y'all, like we were just cool after that. Like I said, he was really my friend. You know, he would cheer me on at the games. I would cheer him on. we would just still like hoop or whatever from time to time. And yeah, I was basically just like, okay, he don't want me like that. He's just on me. It wasn't really awkward after that. Like I said, we were still kids, we were still friends. And then eventually, y'all, I think this boy had like divorced parents. And I think that the year he was out here in California, he moved in with one parent. And I think after our freshman year, he just like went back to the whatever other state he was from with his mom. It was like somewhere in the South. He was very Southern. Um, and that was the end of that, y'all. I never saw him again. Yeah, guys, that was the story. We can all point and laugh because, like I said, y'all, this is very normal, especially young girls. Sometimes stuff like this can feel soul crushing. It can feel embarrassing. It can feel like, ouch, like there's something wrong with you, blah, blah. Rejection is a very, very normal part of life that happens, like I said, to anyone, even beautiful people. Like I said, I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this think I'm pretty, and I was like still a pretty kid, and that still happened to me. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and life moves on, girl. No matter what insecurity, whatever you have, don't ever feel like you're not that bitch. Okay, because there's plenty of times in my life I felt insecure. I still have insecurities to this day, just not as much as when I was younger. Y'all, I still pulled when I had acne. When I had acne and I literally hated the way I looked. I pulled when I had my big chop. Typical black girl experience when I had chopped all my hair off. I still pulled in every state. Like I said, y'all, I'm about to get starter locks. I mean, I have longish hair right now, so I don't think my starter locks will be that bad. You guys can be the judge of that in a couple weeks. I'm just playing. No, you can't. I'm still be a baddie either way. But like I said, and then yeah, I'm still gonna step and be that girl with developing locks and developed locks and bust down locks and so on. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to me yap, staying through the whole story time. I really appreciate it. If you like this story time, go ahead and check out my story times playlist. I got too many for y'all. Like I said, the channel's almost a year old. I have over 100 videos. I have 50 story times. Don't ever say you're bored, okay? Thank you guys so much for stopping by, listening all the way through, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.